YouTube, what's going on? Welcome to OGMarv Whispers. I'm your host, OGMarv. I'm looking a little crazy today, but that's okay. But like I always say, I don't get paid to do this. I do this because I like to and because I want to. Today is Sunday. I'm hanging out with my kids. I always love it when my kids are here with me. Sometimes I get a little upset at the fact that I'm not with my son and my daughter on a daily basis. That their mother thought getting an extra dick was more important than being family. Her family values are little or none. Mine are quite high. My kids mean everything to me. Come here, my son. Come here. You see this little fellow right here? That's my son. I am crazy about this little fellow right here. Okay? He's my legacy. He's little Mark. My daughter's over there filling up my fish tank.
Yep.
If she feels like coming over, I guess she will. And I'll let you see her
Yeah,
as
you
well.
can light it up.
It's nothing like having family and children. I love kids. Kids are all I know. I've had kids ever since I was 7 years old. I pretty much know what I'm doing. And I love them. I love them with all my heart. Unfortunately, their mother doesn't have the values of family that I do, or the values of life that I do. But, you know, that be that as it may, unfortunately, it is what it is. We celebrate this month. He's my youngest. My daughter is 12. And she's a remarkable little girl.
Hey, stop it.
The only thing, in my opinion, that her mother ever did right was have her and him. All the rest of the shit I went through with their parents, with their mother, I could have done without. And if there is a such thing as a God, I'm gonna tell you right now, I don't believe in God. I believe that there's a higher power, but you to understand how to love each other and get along. It's been wars and what have you ever since the beginning of time. People have never been able to get along, and they never will. As long as there's a difference in the color of people's skin, there's going to always be a problem or strife. Why sound sad? Don't do that. People aren't perfect. I'm not perfect. You probably aren't perfect. I don't think any of us are perfect. For some reason, though, whoever created us didn't create us. We take care of one another, and that we love one another, and we look out for each other. Unfortunately, people are more like their mother, who, you know, is a dishonorable person. Put it that way. Here it is, 3 years down the road, and money's for the kids. It ain't for her stupid ass. I shouldn't have to be paying her fucking rent. Her income, her rent would be nothing. I don't know if she's done that or not, but she should have. I just wish the hell that she would stop spending my goddamn money on her fucking weaves, on her fucking nails, and on her fucking self. I ain't fucking her no more. Why the fuck am I paying for it? Shit, she ain't my bitch. She's somebody else's problem. Let that nigga buy that shit. Let that nigga. I'm done. She's not my girl. She's nothing to me but my baby mom. I shouldn't have to contribute to a goddamn thing she's doing. And she shouldn't have the right to spend the money that is provided for the kids. Kids don't fucking pay rent, people. Part of that does America not understand. But part of that does Social Security not get. These kids aren't paying rent. We're not charging them shit. None of my money should be going to pay none of her fucking bills. Straight up. I never married her. She's not entitled to. She's not entitled to any of that. In my opinion, as far as I'm concerned, she's stealing it. Social Security is allowing and forcing me to give this bitch my money. I shouldn't have to do that. She ought to have class enough and sense enough and pride enough to go take care of her own ass. Go get a fucking job. Go work for your own goddamn money. Stop spending money from somebody you claim you don't even like. She's a mooch. That broad has been the biggest goddamn bugaboo I ever had in my life. I ain't been able to get rid of it. Digging in that person's money and digging in that person's pocket as if they're a dead person. That's disgusting. What she doesn't seem to understand is that when she does get my age, because she hasn't done shit except work at fucking Walmart for a minimum wage, her Social Security, when she gets my age, ain't gonna be shit. I make a little more than the average person does, according to the Social Security figure. I did pretty well in life. I drove a bus for 10 years, basic transit, while I was about a month shy. Worked basic transit in the Bay Area. Drove a bus for, like I said, almost 10 years. They cut me loose, so they didn't have to give me no pension. So I didn't make my pension. Actually, my girl Mary spoke and looking at having somebody look into that because she thinks that I might have did do the 10 years and that AC Transit may have cheated me. I also worked for Wells Fargo Bank in the collections department. My job was to find people that the bank didn't know where they went. People went and hid from the bank. And the surprising part of it was that I didn't know before I became willing to do business with you. Basically, that was my job, was to bring you in, bring you back into the bank, get you to, become a customer again and not a debtor. I was a skip trace artist. I was very good at it. I learned the trade after I hurt myself on the bus. I couldn't drive the bus no more. I went to vocational rehab, and my counselor, first thing he asked me was, "What do you like to do?" At the time, video games with computers, and we went to business education center in Oakland, where I vocational rehab, learned a new trade. I learned computer software. I learned business English, business math, and I took some other class. I don't remember what that was, but anyway, bottom line is I did well there. I graduated with a B average. I was like third or fourth in my class, that graduating class. I did well. Cool, have fun with it, not being forced to do it. As human beings, we don't like being forced to do any damn thing. I know I don't. You tell me to go left, I'm going right. You tell me to go right, I'm going left. My nature. Most people's nature do that. But the bottom line is, I didn't depend on nobody to do shit for me or to give me anything. I didn't live off somebody I couldn't stand. Like I can't stand her. I can't stand my ex right now. She couldn't give me a goddamn dime that I would accept. Because I got pride. My standards. I was raised. My parents raised me. Nobody raised her. Nobody taught her that don't do certain things to people in life. Like you don't go around sleeping with every damn body if you're in a relationship. Unless they're okay with it and you tell them. And you're upfront about it. You're honest. You don't go sneaking around pretending that you took a job at the San Francisco airport with a company called Gate Gourmet. Gate Gourmet are the people who do the food for the airlines that the airlines serve on the flight. I don't believe that bitch spent one goddamn night at her so-called auntie's house. Okay? We lived in Sacramento. First of all, if you live in Sacramento and you're not making a whole hell of a lot of money in terms of was it worth the trip to be able to go back and forth every day? No. It wasn't economical, nor was it, sometimes she claimed she was too tired to drive home at night. I treat his bitch. I have no respect for a person like that. You don't do that kind of shit. You know what I'm saying? Although I was kind of glad she wasn't at home, but on the other hand, I wasn't glad that she used me that way. Because clearly, I was being used. You know, you don't. Let me tell you something. I ain't never had to see. I was a player back in the day. I'm not gonna lie about it. I had bitches up there. Y'all do. Okay. I was a bus driver. I was a good-looking nigga. I had nice hair. I looked good. Women liked me. I looked very good in my uniform. Women would get on the bus, and I would know almost immediately if a woman was interested in me or not. And when she did express some interest, I would immediately let her know what I was all about, what kind of person I was, and the ladies respected me for that. Because in my doing so, I never wanted anybody to come back to me and say, you know what, nigga, with you, if I'd known you had other bitches. I never want nobody to come back to me and say that I got them under false impressions. I wasn't a liar. I wasn't a deceiver. I wasn't going around sneaking around. My kids are in the house. I wasn't going around sneaking around sleeping with motherfuckers behind my girl's back or my lady's back. Matter of fact, they all knew each other. I would introduce them. They came and got on my bus. I would introduce everybody to everybody so everybody would know each other. Nobody had a problem with any of that because I was honest from the gate. Had that bitch told me she was down there sleeping with another nigga, I wouldn't have been with her. I'd have left her immediately. Nobody wants to live with a whore. I know I don't. And I'm the caliber of man that I can command a certain amount of respect. I can also command a certain standard of woman. I don't sleep with whores. I don't sleep with tramps. I don't sleep with trash. I don't sleep with black ass ghetto bitches. All my women had jobs. This one wasn't. This one devastated me. I'm devastated to right now. Martin, can you please stop? I'm devastated even to this very day. 3 years later, my life has been ruined. It's been trashed. Nobody has a right to do that to nobody. Straight up and as simple as that. You just don't do that. You don't live like that. I'm teaching, I'm making sure that my daughter understands that concept too. I don't want her going around hurting some man and making some man feel like he needs to kill her. There are days that I've thought about killing Shanika. I'm not even gonna lie about it. But what would I say? What would I tell him if I had his mother cut me in the shop? What would I say? She definitely devastated my life. I had every right, morally, to have her killed. And I thought about it when I first got here. That's all that was on my mind. So I'm gonna pay somebody to kill this bitch. Because at that time, one of my sons was a Norteño. He didn't care. At the very least, beat the fuck up. But you don't go around fucking up somebody's life just because you don't know how to keep your goddamn dick in your
Let's go
hand.
play ball together.
I teach my daughter not to do that to nobody.
Not right now.
Because Shanika doesn't have the right to say that to her. Shanika doesn't have the right to say shit to nobody about nothing. Because she's no role model for absolutely nothing. That bitch shouldn't raise a motherfucking dog, in my opinion. Let alone kids.
Get that kid.
And sometimes I think about taking her ass to court and taking from her. That's respectable. Not a goddamn thing. And she's called me and told me, oh, Marvin, I'm not that same person I used to be. Bullshit, bitch. Yes, you are. You're the same fucking motherfucker. People don't fuck. Look, my mama taught me when I was a kid growing up, leopards don't change their spot. I'm teaching my kids the same thing. Leopards don't change their spot. Once you're a whore, you're a whore. Once you're a thief, you're a thief. Once you're a murderer, you're a murderer. Whatever you are, that's what you are.
Yes.
It doesn't change over the time. Very few people are able to make a conscious effort to change, and that's what it takes in order to actually change a person's entire mindset.
So
Die.
closer.
Or get too old, because women
Come
don't
closer.
seem to understand that pussy is not valuable after so many years. Even me as an older man, I'm not a whole hell of a lot interested in a bunch of old ass pussy. I'm not gonna lie about it.
Yeah.
But like at this stage of my life, I had medical problems. I'm starting to lose my balance. I'm not, I'm falling down and doing things of that nature. Sex is not something that's really on my mind like that right now. Even having a woman at all is not something that that I can't do without. I could do without it at this point. There was a time in my life when I couldn't, but that time has since passed. Young man, think about the person that you're talking to, that you're thinking about wanting to go to bed with, that you're thinking about letting get pregnant, that you're thinking about having some sort of lifetime tie to. I could have done without Shanika. Why in the hell God chose to put her in my life? Why God decided, why God stayed in the game? I don't understand. Because see, back in the day, I'd have whooped her ass myself. I'd have fucked her up myself. I wasn't an abuser, but I was like with my first wife, I didn't take no shit. You didn't have no nigga up in my house when I came home from work. If I did catch some nigga up in my house when I came home from work, even if it was a friend of mine, I'd beat your ass. I had beat one of my wives or shit like that. I was one of the kind of people that if I came home from work and you didn't have my food sitting on the table with steam coming off of it, right? I'd beat your ass. Knock it off! I'm sorry. But my son doesn't seem to understand it. This boy talks more than anybody I ever met. Boy, he's just like the Energized Bunny. He just goes on and on and on and on.
Yeah.
I love him, but he just don't fucking shut up. He's nonstop talk. He needs to understand. Sometimes he needs to, be here and not be so damn vocal.
And shut up.
Just stay here and shut up.
It didn't work. I was putting his healing with me.
Sometimes you have to, do with kids.
Yeah.
Kids aren't perfect. People aren't perfect. But they gotta be raised. They gotta be raised right. I'm a good father. I love my children. I share my knowledge with them because two things. I don't want them to go out there and embarrass themselves. I don't want them out there embarrassing me.
Mom embarrassing.
I don't want that embarrassment. I want people to know that when they see my kids, because when people see my kids and listen to my kids talk, most of the time, what I'm used to is for people saying, your kids are very well mannered. You have some really good kids. I had 3 boys that their mother ran out on me too, and decided that she would rather, well, at least she decided she wanted. I guess women go through the stage where they need to have extra sex, and sex is really important to them at some point. You get bored, and I understand that. I get bored with it too. It's tough to have sex with the same damn person day after day after day after day. I get it. But don't sit there and have sex and have a good time yourself and don't let your mate go out there and do it. See, like I'm with Mary now. If Mary decided she wanted to go out there and have sex with somebody, that really wouldn't bother me. I'm 67 years old. I've had all the pussy any man in the world could want. Okay? I've had thousands, literally thousands of women in my time. So, I'm not enthralled by sex. I'm not enamored by it or any of that. Marshawn, if you don't shut the hell up, my point is, I'm used to sex. I'm used to women. I've had that all my life. I was told I was cute from the time I was 8 years old. Little girls used to come to me and say, "Oh, you're so cute." And they used to embarrass me and I'd run off. Yeah, I actually didn't like that because it embarrassed me. It made me feel kind of funny. So I've been knowing that I was a good-looking guy. I tried to be humble with it, not act like I was better than anybody else, because I'm not. I'm just the same as everybody else. I'm no better or no worse off than anybody else. The bottom line is, you have to be humble when you have been blessed by certain things. You have to accept that with humility. I'm a very humble person. I appreciate what God gave me, and I was very blessed, and I feel lucky in the life that I was able to live. It's important how you treat people. If you treat people shitty, life's going to treat you shitty. It's important how you treat your kids. If you treat your kids fucked up, the world will treat them fucked up as well. My parents kind of treated me kind of fucked up. My mother was a bitch. She had polio. Her legs were of no use, and she was bitter about it. She was a why me person, and it made her bitter, and she took it out on me a lot. I've had Christmases that I absolutely gotten absolutely nothing for Christmas. I could never do that to any of my children. I've never had a Christmas come and my kids got absolutely nothing on the tree. My mother did that to me a couple of years, about 3 or 4 years. I was raised with a nephew of mine that was about a year or so younger than me, and my mother loved him, and she never let him go without anything. He got away with things that I couldn't even do, but I had to endure that. Didn't really love my father. I don't think she's with him because she loved him. She's with him because he was a paycheck. He was somebody that she could use. She used him, and he could use me. Same way. If you have any pride about yourself at all as a human being and as a person, if you don't like somebody, you don't accept things from them. That's what I was taught. That's what I do. That's what I teach my kids too. I've been telling my daughter that all this weekend. I don't want her to do to some other man the way I've been done. I don't want her to break somebody's heart and ruin somebody's life the way her mother ruined mine. Nobody deserves to be treated like that. Straight up.
Who said I was Shanika Jr.?
The whole idea is I'm teaching you not to be Shanika Jr., okay? Stop getting smart. See, that's what got you in trouble and why you don't have your phone right now. Because you make those kind of comments. You cannot do that. Get it through your head. You cannot do that. Okay? Parents are parents. They have inalienable rights that you cannot take away. Get that through your head. You see what I'm talking about? You have to raise kids. You have to tell them. You have to teach them. Taking them to the movies every week doesn't teach them shit. That's what Nika's parents did with her. Her mother took her to the movies all the time. You know, family night. That was supposed to be something special. Family night doesn't mean shit if you don't learn nothing. Family night, Shanika doesn't even work. How can she teach these kids how to go out and get a job? What skills does she have to do that? She doesn't even do it herself. She's never worked anywhere but Walmart. She's damn near 35 years old. She hasn't done a goddamn thing in life. She's not qualified to do shit right now. In order for anybody to hire her, they have to train her. But she doesn't have any skills other than working a cash register at Walmart and doing other things that are illegal. Anyway, I've ragged on her enough. This video lasted longer than I thought it would. Actually, my last couple of videos have been lasting longer. If anybody's watched the whole thing, I'm proud of you and thank you, Marv Whispers. And you have a nice day. Come back and see me.